If you're interested in mastering your emotions, welcome back to my series where I answer the most frequently asked questions about healthy emotions. Today, we're going to dive into question number 12. How does the fear of being seen control aspects of your life? Now, this is one of those questions that most of us don't think to ask ourselves because the fear of being seen isn't always obvious. It's not something that walks into the room and announces itself. Instead, it tends to operate in the background, influencing our choices, our relationships, and the way that we show up in the world without even realizing it. As always, if you're wanting to keep up with this series, I'd really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribed. That way, you'll get notified whenever new videos are uploaded, helping you build awareness, resilience, and a deeper understanding of your emotions with each new episode. So a lot of us assume that struggling with being seen just means that we're shy or lack confidence. So we try to fix it by pushing ourselves to be more outgoing, be more consistent, more visible, or by forcing ourselves to do things like post more, speak up more, or put ourselves out there before we actually feel ready. But what usually happens is that pressure doesn't create real expansion. It creates resistance. And the more that you try to override what's happening internally, the more that you try to notice things like overthinking every word you say, replaying how you come across, or feeling a strong urge to pull back after you've already shown up. What personally shifted things for me was realizing that this isn't just a confidence issue. It's a nervous system response. It's not about whether you want to be seen. It's about what your nervous system has learned to associate with being seen in the first place. When the nervous system starts treating visibility as a threat instead of safety, even simple things like expressing an opinion, being on camera, or being fully yourself in relationships can start to feel internally loaded without you even noticing why. This question matters because for most people, it's not always obvious when this is happening, and it doesn't feel like a clear decision whether you consciously choosing to hold back or stay hidden, and it blends into everyday behavior in a way that just feels normal. So this is something that rarely gets questioned, and instead it shows up in small moments that don't seem connected on the surface. So this can be how you show up in conversations, how you respond when attention is on you, and how you handle being perceived or how quickly you pull back after putting yourself out there. And because this is subtle, it's easy to overlook the impact it has over time. And this becomes especially relevant because many people don't realize how much of their behavior is shaped in the background by things that they've never actually questioned. So how does the fear of being seen actually control different parts of your life? It controls your life by quietly shaping what you choose not to do. So it's in those small decisions where you pull back, you choose to stay quiet, or decide it's safer not to fully express yourself. And over time, those small moments start to show up across different areas of your life. One of the ways it can be shown up is through your creativity. So you may find yourself suppressing creative ideas because you're afraid of being your authentic self. I know for me personally, this has shown up a lot through my creativity. So growing up, I experienced a lot of judgment around how I expressed myself, whether it was the way I thought, the things I said, or just being misunderstood in general. And over time, I didn't realize I was learning to separate myself from my own expression, as if it became easier to hold things in and refine them or wait until it felt safe enough to share rather than just letting them be fully mine in the moment. What I've come to realize that it's not about lacking creativity. It's about what your nervous system learned creativity could lead to when you're fully seen inside of it. And that's usually where it starts to feel less like expression and more like self-protection. Another way that this can show up in your life is through your workplace. So you may actually have opportunities to step into a leadership role where your voice and ideas would be more visible, but something in you hesitates at the point of being seen in that way. Sometimes it looks like waiting until you feel more ready, or it looks like telling yourself you need more experience first, or sometimes it can look like staying in roles where you're competent and reliable, but not fully visible or challenged in a way that would put you in front of others more directly. And on the surface, it can look like, you being responsible or being patient with your growth. But underneath that can be discomfort with the idea of being more visible, more evaluated, or being more openly perceived in a leadership position where your decisions and voice are more expressed. The fear of being seen can also show up in your personal relationships. So it can prevent you from sharing what you truly feel, creating hesitation around what it might change between you and the other person if you say it out loud. So instead of being fully honest in that moment, you might just end up filtering out what you say before it comes out. You end up choosing the safer version of what you mean, or you leave out the parts that feel too vulnerable, too intense, or too likely to create discomfort. What's important to understand is when working with this fear, it doesn't have to be something you fully figure out all at once in order for it to start changing. And a lot of this really begins with awareness, not trying to fix it immediately, not forcing yourself to be more visible overnight, but actually starting to notice those exact moments where you're pulling yourself back before you even say or do the thing. Because a lot of the times there's a split second where you feel it happening internally and you feel that hesitation and the urge to just edit yourself. In that moment alone is where everything starts to shift. Instead of judging it or pushing through it, the first step is naming it internally. So something as simple as recognizing, I'm noticing I want to pull right back. That small level of awareness interrupts the automatic pattern. And over time, that awareness starts to build something new. You don't just react from the fear as quickly anymore, and you start catching it earlier. You start seeing the pattern instead of only living inside it. And from there, change doesn't come from forcing confidence. It comes from small moments where you stay present just a little longer than you normally would, where you say the thing you would usually hold back, or you allow yourself to be seen in a small way that feels slightly uncomfortable but still manageable. Because it's those small moments that slowly retrain how safe visibility feels for you over time. To support you in building emotional awareness, I've created a free resource called the Emotional Breakthrough Guide, and I'd love to share it with you. Inside the Emotional Breakthrough Guide, you're going to find step-by-step exercises that help you notice your personal triggers, reflect on emotional patterns, and begin responding in healthier ways. These exercises are designed to fit into your everyday life so you can start building emotional awareness and control immediately. You can get your free Emotional Breakthrough Guide right now by clicking the link in the description below. And once you do that, you'll receive instant access to the guide so you can start using it immediately. You can move through it at your own pace and begin noticing small but meaningful changes in how you cope emotionally. As always, if this video helped you, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video, subscribe to the channel, and turned on your notifications. That way you'll be notified of the next video in this 23-part series where we continue building awareness and skills you need for long-term emotional health. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.